everyone. This is the 16.0 kickoff for the runner group, and I'm here with Gabriel and Darren. We'll be talking about runner fleet, runner core, and runner SaaS plans for this milestone. So I'm going to kick it off for the runner fleet team. I'll share my screen. All right. This milestone will be continuing to work on the new creation workflow for runners. So you're going to see this in the projects section as well. We've already done this for the admin and groups, but it's behind a feature flag at the moment. And so we'll be working to bring this to the project view too, so it's all consistent. And then another interesting feature we'll be working on is adding a warning dialog when you disable shared runners at a group that has subgroups or projects in it. We've heard that it's a real pain when you disable this and then want to re-enable them, and it doesn't have that same tree kind of functionality support when you re-enable the runners. So we'll give you a little bit of a warning when you disable them, just so that you know that you won't be able to re-enable them as easy as it was to disable them. And then for UX, we'll be working on solution validation for the runner fleet dashboard, which is something I shared in our last video, and we're still working on meeting with users about this to validate it. And then on the back-end side of things, we're going to work on trying to tighten up the blueprint architecture for how we're going to be able to create this feature. So how we'll support all the metrics that we're going to be showing, so that we can then be ready to start implementing hopefully very soon. That's it for fleet.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Gina. Very exciting iteration for fleet. Let me jump into runner SaaS and share my screen. Yeah, if you have followed the last videos, then you might be familiar with the theme because most of our topics are kind of carryovers, unfortunately. For priority one here, we have getting macOS runners into production and dogfooding their usage, so we're confident in our migration to M1. That is a big theme already since the last or past weeks. We have a clear cut on it when we have to finish the migration, which is end of March, and that is the reason. End of May, sorry, March has already been. That's the reason why this is currently priority one. The other topic we are focusing on, which we kind of have everything set up already, and it's a bummer that we couldn't release it already with this iteration, is to get our first GPU-enabled runner out the door, which really will unlock all our ModelOps customers to start building and training their own models and using GitLab CI for it. Unfortunately, we're currently still waiting for some quota increase and are kind of blocked. Probably, as you all know, GPUs are kind of sought after on the market right now, so it's not too easy to get them, but we are really doing our best here to get this out in the next 1 to 2 weeks and then release it officially with the upcoming release. Next one, we have our OKR and our goal to become and still be best in class in CI build speed. And as one of these efforts, we are upsizing our current Linux offering. So we have 3 computes currently offered for Linux, three sizes, which being small, medium, and large. And we will double the vCPUs for them. So that will be good news. It comes with no extra cost for our users. So yeah, that should be super exciting. Yeah, that's about it on the runner SaaS topic, and then handing over to you, Darren.
Hey, thanks a bunch, Gabriel and Gina. Super excited to see what's happening in both and fleet. Let me share my screen and talk a bit about runner core. So for runner core, I'm going to kind of switch up the web and talking about it, because sometimes we go way into the weeds. As we all know, I'm assuming everyone knows, the runner core application covers a lot of surface area, right? GitLab runner supports many clouds, many types of compute platforms, and so many different things that we do in runner core to enable GitLab CI/CD at scale. And so sometimes on these kickoff videos, we tend to go way into the weeds in terms of like really intricate features. And so sometimes we get lost in the forest from the trees or the trees from the forest. But what I want to start doing for the next 2 or 3 kickoff videos is kind of focus on some big themes or some thematic areas for Runner Core as we get into Q2 and into Q3 of this year. And that's specifically going to kind of focus on GitLab Runner, or what we're currently calling Next Runner autoscaling. So even though on these calls and in the future videos, I might highlight incremental features, like say we are doing work on our Kubernetes executor, and if there's something interesting to highlight there, I will talk about. Like last time we talked about the pod spec work, which is kind of one of those like in the weeds features, but it's super powerful for our AI customers and our data science customers that are using Google Cloud, for example. What I'm going to focus on a lot is Next Runner autoscaling over the next 3 kickoff videos. And so kind of just to kind of preface what's happening there, GitLab Runner autoscaling, which we have been calling Next Runner autoscaling till now, I'm kind of switching the language up a bit, just so it's a little bit clearer. It's our replacement for Docker machine autoscaling. But what's super interesting about this technology is that it's GitLab developed IP, and more importantly, it allows you, the users that are self-managing your DevOps platform. So customers on GitLab SaaS obviously can take advantage of GitLab SaaS, and that's why Gabriel is here. But we have a significant number of customers that need to self-manage their own DevOps platform. And as these customers are becoming more efficient in their DevOps practices, in their coding practices, using some of the AI technologies that we have in GitLab to be more efficient in their coding and the code review process, by definition, they're creating more code more frequently, right? And that then means that you are now needing to have more compute for doing things like testing your code and deploying your code. And this is where GitLab autoscaling comes in. It's another piece of the pie, and we're going to be adding AI capabilities into this in the future. And it's an important piece of the pie in that it allows you to scale efficiently this estate that's required to make all of this stuff work on any cloud platform. Super cloud agnostic, any cloud platform, and over time in the most cost-efficient way possible. So the GitLab autoscaling technology is new technology that we developed here at GitLab that enables you to say, okay, I'm adopting the GitLab DevOps platform, and I use Google Cloud for my, for my infrastructure. Can I run this platform at scale? Absolutely can. And so this is what it looks like at a high level, a very simple architecture that under the covers makes a lot of interesting things happen. And so what's happening in 16.0, and then actually be back for a bit, we've actually started releasing pieces of this, and we are, as I'm speaking right now, we're refining the documentation so that as you come into our docs, starting hopefully in 15.1 and definitely in 16.0, there will be a landing page called GitLab Runner Autoscaling. And so you can kind of hit that landing page and understand how to get from point A to point Z. What we have right now is we have the initial autoscaler technology for Docker. We have the autoscaler technology for instances. I'm not going to go into that on this call, but basically what it allows, that's the foundational pieces. And what we're doing, what's coming out in 15.11 is the alpha plugin that makes all of this work for customers on AWS. Just to pop back over to the slides, and to make sure everyone understand this, we need, in order to make this all work, there's this kind of this plugin model. So the AWS plugin is what allows you, if you are using AWS, to use GitLab Run Autoscaling on AWS. The GCP plugin is what then enables you to run this on GCP. The Azure plugin is what allows you to run this on Azure. In the future, if we potentially conceive of it, maybe you're doing VMware in-house, we potentially could have a VMware plugin that allows you to scale very easily on VMware. And so 15.11, we're releasing the AWS plugin in alpha, and in 16.0, now finally back to the 16.0 iteration plan, the main feature set we want to get out the door for Runner Core is the fleeting plugin for Google Compute Cloud. So today, you can start testing out our autoscaling solution. In 15.11, you can start kicking the tires of AWS. But in 16.0, we want you to be able to grab the plugin for Google Cloud and start testing this out on Google Cloud Platform. And so just to wrap up, and we'll have more videos in the future specifically on the value proposition of the autoscaling theme, because this is not our only autoscaling solution. We also obviously, we keep talking about in every kickoff video, Kubernetes. It is our very well used by a number of significant customers who are executing millions of CI jobs per month at scale using our Kubernetes executive auto-scaling solution. But this one is for those customers that aren't quite yet ready to adopt Kubernetes at scale, because with Kubernetes, there's the management pieces, even though some cloud providers offer managed Kubernetes constructs like the Fargate for Amazon, or some of the GKE Autopilot offerings on Google Cloud. So this is for customers that don't want to adopt Kubernetes and securely, efficiently, and effectively scale up the DevOps platform build environment at scale. So really super excited on that focus. So in 16.0, 16.1, 16.2, I'm going to keep hitting on this theme around auto scaling. And of course, just to wrap up, again, another focus area for us in core is continued addressing any of our legacy priority 2 bugs that, when we have bugs in different areas of the code that we want to definitely get addressed in the code base. But in terms of new feature sets, this is going to be our focus area for the next 3 releases. That's it for Run a Core for 16.0. Back to you, Gina.
Awesome. That was great, Darren. Thanks for sharing that presentation too. Just a quick shout out that we've been working a lot, and since this group started, been working a lot with the customer success managers, and they've been super helpful for us. So if you're watching, thank you. And thanks to all the users who have been giving us feedback as well. Reach out as usual if you have anything that you want to give us feedback on. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.